like you said, you can only play the teams on your schedule. And it's hard for us to play teams, these so-called tough teams in our region, because when it comes down to playing Benedict, they just don't want to play us.
Hey everyone, it's another HBCU conversation here on HBCU Game Day. Joining me, he's one of the best coaches in college basketball. He's James Rice from Benedict College. Coach Rice, last time I saw you, man, we were in Rock Hill. You had cut down the nets. You and your girls won the SIAC championship. You were on the way to the NCAA Division II regionals. And then, of course, everything hit the fan with the coronavirus and the pandemic. Where were you and the girls when you guys heard that the tournament was canceled?
Well, we was already there. We was already there in Cleveland, Tennessee. And when we got that message, you know, I got a call during one of our practices, and the call was like, I got it from our SID, and he told us about, you know, the possibility of the tournament not happening. And I was like, well, okay, just call me back when, you know, you can confirm that that's the case. Until then, we're going to prepare.
When you guys pulled out from Benedict, was it a thought in your mind that this might happen, or were you still thinking we'll probably be good?
Well, actually, I never thought this was going to happen. I was focused on the tournament. You know, I visualized everything. Our young ladies was focused on the tournament as well. So everything, I don't already see the tournament playing out in our favor as we prepared. So I never thought, I mean, it caught me blindsided, and the young ladies.
How hard was that to have that team meeting and tell the girls that, you know, everything you guys had worked for, visualized, just wasn't going to happen for you or for anybody else this year?
Yeah, well, it was pretty hard. I mean, I was almost like in denial. When I got that second call back from Dennis, which is our SID, he confirmed it, and he said, hey, it was like 5 minutes later. He said, yeah, they're going to shut it down. Not going to be able to play. So I was like, okay, well, let me talk to these young ladies. And we just stopped our practice right there for a little bit. And I asked them to go down to the baseline, and I just kind of like just talk to the young ladies about life and you know, how important it is to love each other and love your family, and without even talking about, you know, what's going down. It was hard. So I kind of like eased it into it, and then, you know, you can see the young ladies, you know, they believe in you, they believe in your vision. And you can see all the hard work, you know, you can feel it. I mean, even right now, and I can feel it right now. These young ladies put in so much hard work and time and energy and sacrifice for our program that, you know, just to tell them that, hey, you know what, yeah, you deserve to be out here and show the world how good you are, but we can't do it. They shut it down. And you can see it. I mean, my eyes started watering up as I was speaking to them and just, you know, just talking to them. You know, it was hard. It was real hard for the young ladies. You know, you can see it in their eyes.
Coach, I talked to you on the court. You guys were celebrating. One of the things that was important to you is that, you know, you talked about people didn't think that you could win it with Ayanna Bay, and you were able to win that SIAC championship with her as one of your keystone players. You had to be super excited about what she and the rest of her teammates might have been able to do if the regionals would have been played as well.
Yes. I guess the region, the whole South region, the nation would have got an opportunity to really see her play on that stage. This young lady, not just the young lady, but the whole program. I mean, we're a whole lot better than the seeding that they gave us. But, you know, I understand how the seeding is made up and the criteria that you need to follow and how you get there. But, you know, as far as playing, we had a really good team. I mean, our team probably was the best team that I had at Benedict. And Ayanna Bay is probably one of the top players that ever came through.
You talked about the seeding. I looked at that. You guys were a 6 seed in the region, right? A 6 seed?
Yes.
And you had the same record as the number 1 seed, or if not the same record,
No.
it was no more than a game off. How hard is it for you that there's this criteria, where you're supposed to follow, but you can only play who's on your schedule, and for the most part, you beat 98% of your schedule? Like, how hard is it to gain that respect when all you can really do is go out there and play the games?
And that's it. That's all we can do is play our games. We had the best record. We had the best record in the South region. Period. Even the number 1 team, I think they lost like 4 games or probably 5 games. I'm not sure, but we had the best record, win-loss percentage. And like you said, you can only play the teams on your schedule, and it's hard for us to play teams, these so-called tough teams, in our region, because when it comes down to playing Benedict, they just don't want to play us. I try to go to them. I say, look, we're coming to you. And they'll tell me that they already finished their schedule. Meanwhile, they'll call somebody in our conference and let them know that they're still looking for games. And then that coach called me, and I'm like, I just talked to him yesterday. Okay, well, let me give him a call back. And then they say, it's a lot of stuff. So it's hard for us, to play those tough teams because they won't play us. And I don't know if they're scared. I won't say they're scared. I just don't understand it. But, when the selection criteria, you don't get an opportunity to play a head-to-head game against those teams. And the strength of schedule, it's a lot of stuff that's involved as far as, the seeding.
So the region is the only time where you can get your hands on them, right? Like nobody can run once you get to the regionals.
And that was the message. That was the message to the young ladies. Hey, they can't run now. And you know what? I'm glad. It's just like, I'm glad we're 6. That means we got to play that top 3 teams. We'll play the number 3 team, which they think is the number 3 team. We'll play the number 2 team. And then right after that, we'll end up playing that number 1 team. So we'll get an opportunity to show right on that stage that this program is pretty good. This team is really good. This young lady, Ayana Bay, and these young ladies that we got on this team, we got a lot of young ladies that can play this game. They can really play. Like Kara, we got a whole lot of Mahogany. We got a whole lot of young ladies that can really play on this level. Shannon, she showed out too.
That was the one thing that I was really looking forward to, and I was really looking forward to your region because, just following it, I'm not an administrator, but, I've heard other coaches tell the same story about how hard it is to schedule that competition that you need to play to, improve your overall profile, if you will, with the people who make these decisions. And I just thought your region was such a great region to put some respect on your name, as a lot of people like to say. And man, it was really disappointing because I thought out of all the schools, there were 7 HBCUs between the men's and women's program that made the Division II regionals this year, and I thought you guys really had a really great shot to advance on.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe so as well. I think we had the perfect team to win this region. And I've seen, you watch and you study all the teams that's in your path to that championship, and I can visualize, I can really see us cutting down those nets, and we didn't get the opportunity, and those young ladies didn't get the opportunity, and that hurts. That hurts, and they believe that they was going to win as well. I mean, they can see it too.
Coach, they are talking to James Rice, head coach at Benedict College, champions of the SIAC this year for women's basketball. Coach, there's a dead period for recruiting that the NCAA put in, but even on top of that, I mean, there's no games being played. There's no AAU. There's no nothing. So you've got to look at a lot of tape. Is it going to be A gamble on recruiting this year, or do you feel pretty good? Like, what are your thoughts on that, just based on the logistical obstacles that are in place right now?
I think, as far as that, I think I'm ahead of everybody, because that's how I recruit. I recruit on watching film of a kid, instead of actually going out and seeing that kid. Word of mouth. I got a lot of friends that's out there that know some kids and know talent. But the thing, I'm not really sweating as much, because, we got everybody coming back next year. So we don't have nobody leaving. The only thing, as far as recruiting, you want to bring in some more players that can take you, or can almost like guarantee when the season come around, we'll be a much better team.
Coach, the Division I, Division II All-American teams came out last week through the NABC and the WBCA, if I got my alphabet correct. And I think only one HBCU player for men and women made All-American, and that was Kwanzaa Murray at Lincoln, a really good player there. Is it just that hard? Are there just that many great players out there, or do you think there could have been more HBCU representation on the All-American list?
Well, I know for a fact that Yana Bay is an All-American. She was an All-American her sophomore year. She got a whole lot better. I mean, she extended her range. She brought the ball up the court for us. She's done a lot of things for us. Almost our LeBron. And for I don't want to throw it out there like that, but for her not to get the opportunity or even being mentioned, it only added fuel to her fire. That's it. I spoke to her about it. She said she was a little hurt, but she was happy about the season and what happened with the team. That's the type of kid that you love to have on your program. I mean, she's not really, she's hurt, but she's not really concerned about that like I am. I'm more hurt than she is. So, but that young lady can play, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other kids out there that can play. But as an elite kid on a Division II level, Yana Bay name needs to be up in there.
Yeah, especially if she's made it before. She definitely didn't fall off.
Yeah, she didn't. She two-time Player of the Year, SIAC Player of the Year, did not fall off. She was the only kid, from Benedict that made all conference. So that tells you a whole lot right there. If you're looking at it, this is the only player that we got. Man, this kid must be super good. Well, we got a lot of other players that can play too as well, but I don't understand it.
Yeah, a lot of things go into play when these decisions have to be made, and rankings and selections and all of that for sure. How have you been holding up? I know we scheduled the call today. You got some online training you're doing a little later, so I don't think you have missed a step in the grind at all, even though we've all kind of been told to stay at home.
Yeah. Well, I'm still working. Basketball never stops in my mind. The only time it stopped was when, the NCAA shut us down. But, yeah, I'm still trying to develop my coaching, watching a lot of film, watching some online clinics, taking down notes, to studying these coaches that's winning and what they're doing, and just trying to better my craft,
All right. Well, Coach, we enjoyed watching you. We enjoyed watching the girls this year, and hopefully you guys will be able to run it back next season and get back to the regionals and show everybody why no one wants to play Benedict. I'll be happy to see that front and center for the whole world to see.
Absolutely. Hey, put that out there, too, for us. We're still looking for games next year. I think we got one non-conference game already. So that's it. And all these other teams talking about they're finished with their scheduling. We're still looking for games over here at Benedict. So, you know, if you don't mind playing us, we don't mind coming to you. We're just looking for games.
Hey, if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and jump. James Rice, he's the head coach at Benedict College. You've been watching HBCU Conversations here on HBCU Game Day.